For all of you that appreciate versatility and simplicity of a white sneaker, we've managed to compile a list of the ultimate white sneakers that everyone should at least own one of. And just a little word of caution, this is not intended for all of the people who want colorful sneakers. As for the rest of us, here are the top 10 white sneakers ever. Hi, my name is Lil Peso. Let's dive right into it, shall we? Number 10, Nike Air Jordan 1. Now, while some of you know the Nike Air Jordan 1s as the shoe that's red and black, this isn't usually the case. In fact, they initially got in trouble for their color scheme when Jordan first released this shoe back in 1984. You see, the NBA had the rule of 51%, and Jordan broke it. The rule referred to the color scheme of the shoe. The shoe was considered unacceptable if the white color didn't predominate with 51% of the shoe. Now, while some thought this would be a difficulty Jordan wouldn't overcome, the guy immediately changed the color scheme and added more white coloring to the sneaker. He even used this band on his first shoe in his advertising campaign. He said the shoe was banned because it gave the wearer an unfair advantage. Keeping true with that initial color scheme, Jordan smashed that like button if you haven't done so already. But no, he actually made a completely white sneaker. You know, after reintroducing the original color scheme he had in mind. But all joking aside, these white Nike Air Jordan 1s look sleek as heck. Number 9, Vans Slip-On. We know that Vans are not as hype as Air Jordans, but they're a classic, and that design has stayed the same since the 60s. That means people have loved these shoes and will probably continue loving them in the future. There's only one other shoe company that's managed to do this. Now, speaking of the shoe, we love them for one simple reason. They're slip-on. When you have a white sneaker, you want it to be versatile. You want to be able to wear it on anything. And these ones you just, as the name suggests, slip onto your feet. The only problem you might have with these shoes is the fact that they can easily get dirty. They're white, and they're made out of durable canvas. So that means dirt and dust can only be cleaned by machine washing them. But some people suggested buying a protective spray that keeps them cleaner for longer. Number 8, Polo Ralph Lauren. This sneaker has a story just like any other, and it started when Ralph Lauren released his very first line of sports clothing titled Polo, and ever since they appeared in his storefronts, people have started buying them like crazy. They were elegant, and they were a Ralph Lauren classic. This means all of those golfers going to quote-unquote club with a pink sweater tied around their neck and their shorts. They loved this white sneaker, but Ralph's road wasn't always so smooth. In the beginning, when he first opened his company, he was working out of a single drawer from a showroom in the Empire State Building, and then he delivered his product to the store himself. This was back in 1969. Since then, all of that hard work has paid off. Now Ralph Lauren has a $6 billion net worth. Do you think the risk paid off? Number 7, Nike SB Air Max Stefan Janowski 2. And Nike takes the stage once again. This time, it's thanks to the collaboration they've made with Stefan Janowski, the professional skateboarder who was born in Vacaville, California. But seeing how his career took off, Nike wanted to do a partnership with him and make a sneaker that would reflect his taste. Thus, the Nike SB Air B Max Stefan Janowski 2 was born. It features a breathable textile material that's been built to hug the wearer's foot, and while the rubbery sole on the bottom helps your foot stay flat on the skateboards, therefore offering you more control. Finally, you shouldn't forget that these are Air Max. That means the air pocket on the heel will cushion every jump and step. Number 6, New Balance 608. It's the dad shoe of the 80s, and then the 90s, and then the 2000s, and then the 2010s, and now even the 2020s. This is the dad shoe that never goes out of style. It's white, it's got some blue on the side, and it's the shoe that has inspired this trend of wearing sneakers that look like dad shoes. But there's a reason this shoe is still being sold in sneaker shops around the world. Mainly, It's because the shoe was freaking comfortable. You rarely see a young guy wearing them. It's usually older people who have problems with their knees and legs. It's been designed to be durable enough for all-day comfort. And this newest addition to the New Balance family features the enhanced absorb heel pad that makes it feel like you're walking on clouds. Plus, it's got all of those flex screws on the outside, which makes them super flexible. Guess Dad's had a reason for buying them. Number 5, Yeezy White. They were invented only 5 years ago, and people have lost their mind over them. A good pair of white Yeezys will run you anywhere from $300 to $400, although we've seen people paying upwards of $1,000 for these shoes. And that Kanye sure knows what he's doing. Speaking of which, the husband of Kim Kardashian has become one of the wealthiest rappers in the world, thanks to the Adidas partnership. But it was still him that designed the shoe. It was him who used his popularity to market it. And it was him that got the $1 billion. He managed to do what only a few celebrities have managed to do in the past. You see, he managed to sell a luxury sneaker, because let's face it, that's what they are. And he managed to sell it to the mass market. That explains why his net worth has skyrocketed ever since he launched this sneaker back in 2015. Number 4, Adidas Stan Smith. With this shoe, we start sliding into familiar territory. Starting with the Adidas Stan Smith, we're going to be looking at the pair of shoes that you've most definitely seen in the past. When we saw that these sneakers came out in 1965, our jaws were on the floor. We thought they were a relatively new sneaker. But yeah, when Adidas first launched them, they were endorsing Robert Halen, a French tennis player. But then, in 1978, Stan Smith became the face of Adidas, and they changed the shoe's name. It's got a relatively simple design. It's a leathery exterior with white laces, and a green logo on the tongue. Also, they have that iconic green upper part of the heel. The design was catchy because instead of the 3 black stripes, the shoe had 3 rows of ventilation holes that allowed the shoe to breathe. Number 3, Nike Air Force 1. Did you know that when Nike launched these sneakers, they were supposed to be called the Uptowns? That's right. The designer Bruce Kilgore thought that the target audience would be the inner city youth, especially Harlem, New York for his new 1982 model, but they later renamed them. Currently, the name is a reference to the government plane the POTUS flies in. As for the shoe itself, it's got 5 different styles, ranging from super low all the way up to super high, and they even designed various colors. But the model that sold the most was the white one. Fun fact, the Air Force Ones were the first basketball shoes to incorporate the Nike Air technology. Number 2, Chuck Taylor's AllStar High.
This is the Chuck Taylor AllStar High Street by Converse. This version of the classic sneaker brings...
Would you be surprised if we told you that Converse started off as a sneaker company whose models were built for the needs of professional basketball players? We sure as hell were. But then we saw that this was back in 1922, when Chuck Taylor asked Converse to build a better shoe that would offer support and flexibility. And with this, the famous Chuck Taylor All-Stars were born. It's been almost 100 years, and the shoe has remained the same. This tells you that people love the lightweight canvas, the All-Star ankle patch, the medial eyelets that improve airflow. They love them so much that they wouldn't want Converse changing anything in the shoe. Nowadays, we know this shoe is the go-to for artists, musicians, and painters who made this shoe their own with their special design. Number 1, Adidas Superstar. This is it. This is the most iconic white sneaker that hasn't changed its shape since it was created back in 1969, more than half a century ago. And again, they were the low version of the pro model basketball shoe that Adidas had at the time. They were initially dubbed the clam toe, or shell toe, and it's precisely this toe cap that has made them the iconic sneaker we know and love today. The man most responsible for the popularity of this shoe is none other than professional basketball player Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Plus, when you see that 75% of basketball players at the time were wearing these shoes, you see that this was more to the design than just the eye-catching exterior. And on that note, we end this video. But hey, which of these sneakers have you owned in your life? You can tell us in the comment section down below. If you like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.